So next up, we're going to be checking out what's wrong with international dubs of the Digital Circus episodes 3 and 4, because apparently they change quite a lot of the dubs. Not just because there's differences in how they've done it. Sometimes they're lazy, sometimes not. But the crazy part is sometimes these dubs come in way after the original, way after many more episodes in English have come out originally. So they can pull from future events and make little references that actually fit better than the original dub. And I really want to see what kind of little things they've added in there that might give away bits of the plot that we haven't got to yet. Is that the case? I don't know. But the fact that there have been things coming out that we only found out in later episodes were perfectly accurate is awesome. Now, whether that's because they came out after those episodes and could reference them or not, I don't know, because I don't know how they came out in reference to each other. But the possibility exists, and that's fascinating, man. So let's jump into it.
The third episode of the Digital Circus really exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
It showed a whole new side to the show, and I was pleasantly surprised.
You know, now that he points it out, he's kind of right. The first two episodes were just grappling with how this is a shit world. And the third one was the change of, and yet the people in it are still people and they're empathetic, which you didn't really get early on. You got Gummy Goose Cool and the rest are there. This did make him feel more like people instead of characters.
The Kinger's backstory was a great addition too, but the dubs, well, they were in fact fascinating.
Really?
This time I had a chance to delve deeper into them,
Oh.
and believe me, I found many amazing and unexpected things.
What were they changing up?
13 dubs to explore in today's video.
How many languages? I thought last time with 9 different dubs was insane.
So let's jump right in.
I'm a bit
Let's
quiet?
start
Oh,
with
that's weird.
one of the most meme-worthy moments. At the end of the episode, Kane meets the characters and calls them yowling milkmaids. It's a
What? What language is that? Was that English?
At the end of the episode, jump right unexpected meets the characters and calls them yowling milkmaids. It's a strange line for sure, but not as strange as the Polish version. The
What?
Polish Kane calls them skibidi sigmas.
What the hell, Poland? That just... Okay. We're doing that. We're doing that.
No i jak tam, moje skibidi sigmy? Welcome back, my meowing milkmaids.
Meowing milkmaids was weird. Skibbity Sigmas. Oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better.
Curious translation choice though. Now the Spanish dub also has its weirdness, with Kane calling them milky furries.
Bienvenidos, mis furritos de leche.
Okay. That is apparently... I'm honestly surprised this did not get more fan art.
We already talked about censorship in the Digital Circus in my previous video.
Somehow that's worse.
Things just got way more interesting. My team expanded, and this time we took a deeper dive into the Japanese and Chinese dubs.
Oh.
And guess what? There's absolutely no swearing in the Japanese version. Not only that, but they also removed the censorship sound in most cases. Take a look.
My limbs straighten up and fuck off.
手足は整ってるだろうが
See,
That's probably due to censorship with the viewers and what they're willing to expect. Although I'm not entirely sure why that would apply to the Japanese side, just because I've seen some of their TV shows, man, they are really fucked up. But, and I'm not talking the anime, I'm talking like the live action ones, man. The anime looks tame by comparison. But just removing it flat out and then leaving in the censor bar, like not even, that feels off-putting.
totally different. The Japanese dub is super tame compared to the original. Maybe it's because the Japanese language doesn't have swear words like ours. I'm sure my Japanese viewers...
Also, I'm being told by Taryn, for my information, the English voice actors dubbed the Polish segment in English. Okay. That is not what I was expecting, but kind of cool, actually.
in the comments can tell us more about that. Now, the Chinese dub did the same thing actually. They removed almost all the swear words. Now we'll talk more about this.
Yeah, I'm never going to think that's not weird when they have the reactions that they're swearing without actually swearing. That just looks like a weird personal choice for the language. I don't get it.
This whole censorship thing at the end of the video. There is some other crazy stuff going on, believe me. But for now, let's move on.
Okay, you know, it's only maybe in hindsight, but am I the only one looking at this and going, there's a lot of scenes here that I'm actually surprised didn't get further fan discovered. Let's go with that phrasing. Also, Croc, you mentioned I would like to officially apologize for my language. Apologize for the cringe. Out of all options they could use, they had to do this. JPRDL. Ah, Polish. Don't worry. I apologize enough for English language as it is, because if there's one thing you know as an English speaker, it's that you don't actually know what the hell you're saying. This is coming from someone who has a master's in this shit. No one actually knows how to speak English. They just fuck around and they never find out, and everyone who actually knows what they're doing just kind of just groans.
Right at the beginning of
Cosmic,
the
sup, man?
episode, in the German dub, when Pomni changes color, Jack says a phrase that can be translated as "Lila turns me on," and he
What?
says this about Pomni.
Sieh an, Leila macht geiler.
Hey,
Layla?
there's something new.
The thing is, this is a reference to a
Layla?
song with the same name, but because he says it about Pomni, it seems like he's saying that Pomni turns him on. Plus the word
You know, Jax is trying to be a clown intentionally. That actually makes sense. I'm not even going to joke with that one.
Lila sounds similar to the word for purple in German, so it's a pretty curious adaptation. As you know, the digital circus is now on Netflix, and this
Oh.
is a huge achievement.
I
for
actually
an
was not aware of
independent
that.
Animation studio. Creating an animated series like that is a massive amount of work and requires a lot of skills and learning. But as time passes, AI is developing and will help a lot of people bring their ideas to life with their creativity. Acting is your perfect co-pilot.
I'm going to be honest, I'm already creeped out because you can tell this is a very AI image. Ugh. Specifically, the finger is too sharp right there.
And who better to handle this than NVIDIA AI?
No. Let's not check out that part. That is a little too more than I want to do. I'm not a fan of a lot of AI services. I use AI, and I'm okay with it, but I think a lot of people are just being lazy instead of actually using it as a tool. And it's just, if you're using AI writing, it's so incredibly repetitive. If you read 10 pages, 3 of them are going to be very much the same words, which is why it's a great tool, because it can knock out a first draft of absolute shit that you know is going to be shit, because it doesn't matter what the words are at that point, just that you have something you could actually start working with, except for the people who are kind of weird and actually just write a first draft and call it completed and leave it at that, and that's actually good enough. Those people scare me.
Video minutes. Now, the third episode was pretty creepy thanks to this character right here.
Yeah.
Interestingly, the official German dub and subtitles say that this monster looks like a typical Frenchman. That's a crazy adaptation.
Average Franzos. Wow. They were going brutal on this one. And to quote Bill, AI, or Zero said AI can be fun. Good like magic, but it sucks on repeat. And Bill Larson Cypher mentioned AI is a fun toy and useful tool, but businessmen ruin it. Yeah, it's like, can you imagine how much stuff you can get done now that you have more free time because AI is covering some of the back-end stuff? Yeah, except what will happen is just less people will do it, so you're still using the same amount of or less people do the exact same amount of work, except it'll be more work, and you'll also be having to cover for all the issues AI has that if you had kept the same levels of staffing wouldn't be there, but that's completely beside the point.
And in the German dub, during this scene, they joke about Kinger not knowing French, and therefore not being able to understand what the monster is saying. In other words, they continued cracking about French.
The entire episode.
Entschuldigung, könnten Sie das wiederholen? Ich spreche kein
I don't
Französisch.
speak French.
Next up, let's talk about Zubul.
Dude, how did they get away with that? The entire episode?
There's a lot to unpack here. First, there's
wow.
this adult joke
What?
Jax makes at the beginning. Essentially, he's talking about Zubul turning straight. They removed this joke in almost all of the dubs.
And Zubul turned straight.
My limbs straighten up. Fuck off.
つぶるは整う。
手足は整ってるだろうが
Hers legs
But it
are
was
fine.
interestingly adapted in the German version. They decided to make a joke about male genitalia.
Und Zubel kriegt ein steifes Glied.
Stiff
We'll
lip.
return to Zubul later.
Oh, wow. I'd say the German dub goes hard, but in context of what they just said, that maybe I shouldn't. Okay, we're doing that. We are doing that. Wow, first Polish and now German.
But let's talk about Bubble for now. As you remember, at the beginning of the episode, Bubble speaks backward, making it impossible to understand. But this wasn't the case in all versions. In the Japanese dub, for example, Bubble speaks without the reverse effect, so Japanese viewers could understand him with no problems.
I can't wait to see the John is caught up in our monster night. Oh, that's actually what he said?
In the Chinese version,
Oh, actually, this entire time I had no idea what they said, but it makes perfect sense. Also, Hobbit, did you miss my last super chat because you were distracted by AI? You had a last super chat? Oh, hey, are you ready to watch more? Oh, yeah, I was distracted. Sorry about that. Ready to watch more Voices of the Void. I enjoy your fear. And oh, I might be a Night Lord. Oh, God. Well, we have now confirmed Hobbit is a Night Lord. Indeed. Indeed it is. Also, for anyone wondering, yeah, I will get the interaction, so I get audio cues when there's donations in the future with this upcoming subathon. That's one thing I do need to work on.
they did something a little different. They reversed the characters so the words were understandable, but because of the broken grammar and the unique features of the Chinese language, it came out like this.
Watch, then stay. Don't make me do it. What?
I already talked about this in my very first video.
Understandable but
about
not
the digital
understood.
Circus, but now there are some new interesting details. The question is Zubul a boy, a girl, a non-binary, or someone else? Each dub of the digital circus seems to have a different answer to this question. In the American version, Zubul either forgets their gender or identifies as non-binary, because
Honestly, I thought they were just, bi and not, or like not even bi, just they're definitely non-binary. At least it feels like that in the American version, because that's their entire character of not really being sure who they are and always trying out new things to see what fits. But it kind of all fits and all kind of doesn't at the same time. Not remembering, though, like not remembering that much of your identity, like sure, Pommy doesn't remember who she is. A lot of people probably don't remember, and that's horrible. But not remembering basic things like even what you are, that is terrifying. Unironically, if they made that an episode of just losing yourself that completely, that would be a lot of horror. And having seen Gooseworks work before, exactly the kind of thing they would do. Valerian, you mentioned they all remember who they are. That's the thing. I thought a lot of them didn't. Like, they don't remember their names. I thought some of their information wasn't there. Or was it only the names that went? I know Pomni mentioned she had the office worker and she talked about her past. And Cosmic, you've never seen Digital Circus? This is all nonsense to you? Cosmic, you need to start making reaction videos for all of the Digital Circus episodes. Because I want to see you just try and wrap your brain around this level of insanity. And it's going to be funny, man.
they use they/them pronouns when referring to Zubul. In the Russian dub, for example, they made her a girl. In the Ukrainian version, they refer to Zubul as a guy, even though it seems like they're referring to her as a girl in the first episode, which is quite strange.
I mean, if they kept changing it, that'd be its own thing.
Dubs, they use the pronoun it when talking about Zubul.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the situation.
Which might
Later,
fit.
towards the end of the episode, the wife of the main villain mentions a Greek tragedy. However, they changed it to War and Peace in the Russian dub, which fits perfectly into the context.
That man could turn a 57-second story into a Greek tragedy.
Он способен превратить 57-секундную историю в войну и мир.
Now,
Yeah, that kind of works. It has the exact same energy. Also, Thomas, did you watch the new World of Darkness Bergamade Vampire Timeline? Not yet. I do want to check it out because the title looked good, but I've been told a lot of things need his older videos, like the 9 traditions for Mage, before getting into later things, and I'm probably in the same boat when it comes to some of the other lines when it comes to Vampire. Oh, and you mentioned Airier, new HTTP audio log about werewolves is coming out soon. Oh, they take a month, in other words. That is awesome. Thank you. Oh, that is cool. Oh, hell yeah.
they decided to refer to Proust in the French
Proust,
version.
oh.
He's also known for his long text.
Cet homme peut
man
transformer
can tell a
une
simple
simple
anecdote
anecdote en roman de Proust.
In the third episode, we
Good voice
finally
for it.
get insight into Kinger's past. He reveals that he spent 7
You know, I forgot they had a giant tongue animated in this episode. Legitimately surprised you're not seeing more of this art. I'm legitimately surprised about it. So, oh, hey, Mirren. 5 different... I'm that far behind on Burger that there's 5 more videos I need to watch just to get what his references are. Ugh. And like you mentioned... Hey, I just figured I'd pop in and say that you're a mainstay favorite of mine in terms of reactors. Provide insight. Actually, thank you. And look at the stream. Thank you, man. Thank you. Can we all just go back to just bullying Cosmic and doing a reaction video to all of Digital Circus in one drop? Maybe he'll get his ass in gear for his other things, like a certain dialogue he's writing about a coffin, something or other. Yeah, I know. I'm just bullying him at this point. It's completely unfair. That's it. I actually will check that when it comes out.
years studying computer science. Interestingly, almost all the dubs slightly changed the backstory.
Oh?
Instead of 7 years, they changed it to 4 years. And in the Polish dub, they removed the mention of computer science altogether.
Why?
7 years of computer science for this, huh?
I mean, if it helps with general AI right now, most people in computer science for 7 years have just become jobless, so Kinger's technically ahead of the curve. That's not a joke. 4 years of AT training for this.
It's also quite interesting that in the Polish dub...
Also, Hobby, you mentioned I speak the English only. They could be saying anything in another language and I would just nod and smile. Why the hell did I use an accent for that? I don't even know what accent that was. I'm just going to ignore I did that. Let's just pretend it never happened. Never happened.
In one scene, Jax tells Pomni to grow some balls, meaning to be brave. That's hilarious.
Oh, grow some balls.
At the beginning of the episode, the German dub added a reference to a device called the Poltergeist. This device is from the game Luigi's Mansion.
Wait, really? Oh, shit. I'll be honest, I did not catch that. I thought it was a Ghostbusters reference. Except it probably was a Ghostbusters reference in Luigi's Mansion, so that makes sense.
And it was used to catch ghosts.
What? You scared of the vacuum cleaner too?
It's freaked out by the poltergeist.
There were also references in the Polish version. For example, in the Polish dub, Kane mentions Maya the bee.
Zubo, the bee, Maya.
Zubo, look at this cool bee I drew.
Kane really likes to come up with the names for the characters, right? In one scene in the original, he calls them waffle cones.
What?
But in other versions, they changed it however they want it. For example, in the German dub, he calls them little tea bags sucking marmalade bears.
I'm sorry. That is the most dirty insult I can imagine. I've never even sure if it's an insult. Like, if someone had said, you little tea bag sucking marmalade bear, I'd be acting as if someone is legitimately out to get me with that. But I don't even know if that's an insult, but it feels like it. Damn. Hey, Airier, what's up, man? You're here, ready to come to terms with what you did while others were saving the world. Which time? And Cosmic going on about his love for German women. Oh, good to know.
Whatever that means.
Congratulations, my little ironclad waffle cones!
Yeah, no, I stand by what I said. This does sound like an insult.
It's worth mentioning that in the Japanese dub, Kane constantly calls the characters children, and in the Spanish version, he calls them honey mariachi rockers. Mariachi are musicians who play Mexican folk music.
Mariachi rock.
Felicidades, mis mariachis rockeros de miel!
Remember the ghost?
People are just having fun with Kane.
The episode. In the American dub, he was called
Ghostly.
For some reason, in the Dutch dub, he speaks half German, half Dutch. I can't figure out why they did it. Probably just for fun. Now, in the German dub, at the end of the episode, Jax calls Kinger the King of Cuckoos. Pretty cool. He really is a king after all.
Na, wie war's mit dem König der Knalltüten?
King of Cuckoos.
Okay, back to censorship. In the middle of the episode, the Russian dub added censorship where there was none in the original.
Like, are they talking audio censorship or just probably censoring the footage? Because there were some things here that were legitimately terrifying.
Get out.
Hey, what's up, Alex?
Couldn't give less of a crap about the adventures.
The thing is, it was the audio censorship where they added swearing and censored it. It's like the exact... I just realized these are teeth. Ah. I never noticed what that background was. Those are teeth. Ah. On Zero. Yeah, sucking on tea bags is from the German YouTuber. Oh, it's from a German YouTuber even. I would never have actually realized that. And Nymphe mentioned, also, I love Norfolk Wizard Game reaction today. Wait, did that come out today? Ah, shit. If it came out today, I made a mistake. It was supposed to come out, I think, on Monday. Either way, it's a fun episode.
The Russian localization team decided to add a harsher expression than the one in the original. So that's probably why they decided to censor that. However, in the Ukrainian dub, for example, they used the same expression as the Russian version, but didn't censor it. By the way, this scene was also very amusingly adapted in the Polish.
Yeah, that's so freaky. Oh my god! What the actual hell, man? Okay, yeah, this is not the censorship section. This is the lack of censorship or having to create more things to censor yourself on. It's like it took the Japanese and the Chinese thing of, hey, let's just take out the swearing. And it's like, no, let's do it more. Oh my God, man. Like, it's legitimately insane. I'm not complaining. I'm sitting here going, buh. Yeah. And Hobbit mentioned the void grows closer. Closer.
The dubs for episode 3 were incredibly interesting, and in this video, I've only shown you a small part of what I found. If you want more content about the dubs of the Digital Circus, like the video and leave comments. See ya.
Oh. And let's check out the next one. That's episode 4, because I just want to see just how crazy this gets.
Making videos about the Digital Circus dubs has already become a tradition on my channel, and episode 4 is
number
no
4.
exception.
Yep, it is.
This time we finally got a bit more.
Oh, I forgot what this episode was. Like, this is a good episode. I love when it came out, but it definitely did not feel like it had the impact of the previous one with Kinger, or the later ones, which were just more, hey, let's find out how fucked up things are. Granted, I think everything will probably pale to the next one, where they flat out said, this is the calm before the shitstorm that will be approaching. I'm not going to go into the rest of that. Also, Hobbit mentioned follow the whispers. And Moon got with keep. The void keep is spreading everywhere. Yes. Oh, God.
Insight into Gangle. My team and I watched episode 4 in 12 different languages.
Did it go up?
And honestly, today's
did.
video might just be the most exciting one I've ever made.
What kind of changes did they make?
This episode's dubs are packed with adult jokes, references, memes, and even spicy swearing across.
Oh. So because a few languages in the last episode were allowed to get away with more swear words than less, they decided to add even more. Oh, yeah. Also, I'm being told that we have reached this goal, so you guys need to choose the next 2 videos we watch. Huh. Because Zero jumped in right away with a full goal and everyone else matched it. And Croc mentioned, yes, we have the creative phrases we can use. If we want to, like, for example, the middle of nowhere, translate to where dog barks with their asses. Having had dogs who have had significant flatulence issues before, yes, it was very painful. That is not a joke I would ever want to be on the back end of. Or the front end, or just within general breathing vicinity. Oh my God. Oh, wow.
Various dubs. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in. Okay, so in one scene, the wooden puppet ordered the stupid burger in the original version. Simple enough, right? Well, the Dutch dub decided to spice things up.
What would they change it to?
With a reference to a meme that exploded in popularity over the past year.
What?
The brain rot meme.
I'd like to order the stupid burger. Doe mij maar een breinrot burger.
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm literally surprised no one has made that an actual thing yet. It seems like the dumb kind of thing people would do. Also, wait, people are talking about how, wait, why are we saying, well, Zero chooses the first, oh, because he got the first goal, yeah. And Knights of Guinevere, Maxim, we're going to do that one regardless, unless we just don't have time to get to it, in which case, that would suck.
And honestly, I may not like the brain rot meme itself, but I gotta say, it fits the context of the scene perfectly. Now let's talk about Ragatha. She wasn't quite herself in this episode and kept saying bizarre things. In one scene, she expressed regret that no one flirts with her. In the Japanese version, they completely removed the mention of flirting.
There's a joke in there already, and I'm not going to touch on that one. Oh, God.
I wish someone would flirt with me.
I want someone to keep me company too.
However, in many other dubs, they lean
close.
further into the idea that Ragatha wants closeness with someone, particularly with Jax. During a different scene in the Chinese version, Ragatha...
Now that is different because the later episodes, hell, even this episode, especially the later episodes, this one kind of because she was out of it, but in the later one, she explicitly goes after Jax, like incredibly harshly, to the point where he breaks his own mask out of actual anger. Is she literally the character who picks on someone? Her entire thing was her mom, who she loved, breaking her down and destroying her. And if she has a crush on Jax, she would literally act like her mom, because that's how she knows how to act. So she's continuing the bullshit. So that very well might be her character. Oh, that makes more sense than I'm okay with.
openly says she feels lonely.
I miss my horses.
I'm so lonely.
What's even more intriguing is that several dubs seem to hint at a closer connection between Ragatha and Jax. In the Polish dub, for instance, Ragatha straight up says she wants Jax to like her.
Oh!
I don't want you to hate me. Is that weird?
Ale chcę, żebyś ty lubił mnie. Czy to dziwne?
Plus, at the beginning of the episode,
I remember that, and I at the time took that more as she just wants to be liked by everyone because she doesn't know how to deal with it. But it looks like other dubs might be leaning more into the explicitly Jax liking her part. Huh. Maybe she has a thing for bad boys. Or, in Jax's case, sad boys who are trying to pretend to be bad.
Jax calls Ragatha.
And just going to steal this one from Cosmic. Tsundere's cycle of abuse. Yay! Yeah, except she doesn't do the tsundere thing. She's more like a dairy soon. She's sweet until she's soon.
That doll in German and French dubs. And this tells us something about their potential closeness.
You're wasting your time, Raggy. Tu perds ton temps, poupée.
Time doll.
nur Zeit, Pippi.
Episode 4 was the first
I mean, she's
one
a Raggedy Ann doll, so
version.
there wasn't?
At first, I was kinda upset about it, but the Polish dub swooped in to save the day.
What did they put in there?
At the very end, they added a swear phrase. I didn't hear anything like that in any other dub of the episode.
I am such a good...
Oh shit, this was... He was glitching out way earlier, wasn't he? Yeah, no, in hindsight, with all the different instances, I thought these were just little one-offs, but seeing them now so close together and a few of the other ones in the therapy session, Kane has been glitching out for a while now. Oh.
Honestly, it fits perfectly here, and I'm surprised none of the other versions added a swear word in this scene. Also, thanks to the Polish translators for giving me the thumbnail for today's video.
What?
On top of that, there's another scene in the Ukrainian version where they included clever wordplay involving an inappropriate expression. However, it's softer than the Polish version, and the kids won't recognize it as swearing because the phrase has two meanings.
Horseradish sauce. Blah, blah.
I have to put horseradish, not give a damn. I mean, that's about right if you're working in fast food. This is the completely correct way to do it. Also, I'm being told that's a very American way of pronouncing tsundere. I mean, I am also very American, so it kind of fits. Yeah, you know the old joke. What do you call a guy who speaks two languages? Bilingual. What do you call a guy who speaks one? American. The correct one is, what do you call a guy who pretends they can speak one language and not realizing they're completely wrong about everything they just said? American. It's not a joke, man. It's completely accurate.
Later in the video, we'll have even more interesting adaptations, like references to banned substances, some adult jokes, and much more. Don't miss it. Now, in episode 4, the German translators continued poking fun at the French.
Again?
Just like they did in episode 3. It seems like
It seems like their entire shtick here is not, let's make a joke, or let's adapt it. Let's just shit on the French for the entire episode. Oh, man. I kind of hope the French version just takes that and does it back. That would be even better.
Can't let the French off the hook.
There was this awful, horrifying angel head thing.
There's this French flying angel head thing.
Now, the Turkish dub had many surprises this time. It was way more brutal than the original or any other version. For example, at the beginning of the episode, in the Turkish version, Jack suggests an adventure where Zubul gets beaten to death.
How about an adventure where Zubul gets turned into a piñata and we all take turns beating them up?
Considering the last episode with everyone gets guns, yeah, that eventually happened and it was actually fine.
piñataya dönüştürdüğümüz ve sonrasında öldüresiye dövdüğümüz bir maceraya ne dersiniz?
Some Turkish phrases also sound quite harsh. Take this one for example.
That means today's adventure is an honest hard day's work at Spudsy's restaurant chain. Bu da demek oluyor ki
That means today, a Spudsy restaurant, you will shed blood, sweat, and tears. Oh, they've worked in fast food.
Yeah,
No, that's completely accurate, man. If you've ever worked in fast food, one, I'm so sorry for bringing it up for the same reason I hate that I remember it. And this episode was way too empathetic for anything I was okay with. Like, legitimately, there's PTSD in there, man. Oh, God. Yeah, the German voice. That's not a joke. That's just accurate, man.
That's how it is. There were even more moments I could have mentioned, but I think you get the point. By the way, in the Spanish dub, Jax takes things even further in the same scene. He threatens to kill Gangle.
You did not just make that today's adventure.
That's right.
I saw him kill you, Gangle.
Now let's dive into the name.
Yeah, although him making death threats kind of fits considering they literally did an episode on that, so it's not like it's wrong.
Names of a few characters. The names of the Glowing Queen's children were also changed in
What?
almost every dub, and the results are super interesting.
What?
In the German version, their names reference characters from Murder Dreams.
Oh! Uzi V and
In the
Sin.
Russian dub, we get a
God.
reference to the characters from the book called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
Oh.
And in case you didn't know, this
Considering this is an AI-generated world, that is actually way more dark. If that was in the original one, I would be freaking out right about now.
book heavily inspired the creators of the digital circus. That's such a great reference. Meanwhile, in the French dub, their names are a reference to the Donald Duck's nephews.
Ah, that's just cute.
Other
Rui?
dubs also had their own local twists
Iffy?
and jokes. I won't tell you about all of them, but I'm sure people in the comment section will. Now, in another scene, Zubul says that Ragatha did something I shouldn't talk much about on YouTube.
Oh?
Help, Ragatha. I think she huffed paint or something.
This line was interpreted differently in
Yeah.
various dubs. Some versions
What did they
made
say?
it stronger, while others made it less explicit. Here's a compilation of the most interesting adaptations. Remember, you really shouldn't be doing stuff like this.
Ich glaube, sie
USB.
Vater geschnüffelt haben.
Azt hiszem, gáz szívott vagy valami.
Gas, really?
好像喝高了。
Honestly, the Chinese one is the least objectionable. And if you worked in fast food, it would be the least likely because the others are way more so.
As you remember, in the middle of the episode, Gangle tells Jax to clean the toilets. This scene was presented in a really interesting way across different dubs. For example, in the Ukrainian version, they say it like this.
The bathroom looks like a biohazard and needs a good scrubbing.
Yeah, I hated this because that fake positivity and being told to do something objectively disturbing. If you've ever gone into public restrooms and been told to clean them, man, you realize that people take that as an excuse to miss everything. I forgot how much this episode scarred me. Oh, that's pleasant. Code brown. Cleaned well.
That's
Oh,
a
God.
pretty witty choice of words. In the French dub, they talk about a nuclear disaster.
About
and
a bathroom
the
as well?
subtitles even joke about Chernobyl.
Nucléaire dans les toilettes, elles auraient bien besoin d'une décontamination.
Yeah, and
Actually, we could all agree that Kane would definitely be the person to do a Chernobyl bathroom disaster episode for a game. That's literally the kind of thing he would do.
every dub made their own joke in this scene. That's hilarious. Now, there was a joke about some toy and the crocodiles.
Oh, wait, I forgot to ask for a kid's meal toy.
You're not a kid.
Oh, yeah. An adult toy, then.
Don't know about that one, mate.
I missed that. I missed that in the actual one. Oh my. Yep. And Hobbit's just going, I am a janitor? Ah, you know exactly the kind of pain I'm talking about then. Yeah, when I worked in a museum, there were people who would explicitly go to bathrooms that didn't have automatic flushes just so they could leave it sitting there for the next person. I don't know why, but you realize really fast you needed to learn when the cleaning schedule was because there would always be at least one person trying to do it.
I think the Dutch version changed it in a pretty interesting way. It almost
Oh.
seems like the crocodile was about to do something inappropriate right there in the restaurant, and the other one talks him out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Een 18-plus speeltje dan.
Dat zou ik hier maar niet doen, man.
Do that here, man.
A little earlier, they order food, and each dub adds its own dishes. For example, in the German version, they added a reference to gamer slang and some Swiss dish called Rastis.
I'll have a sausage bacon jaffle combo. And the mate here just wants 6 hash browns split between.
Ich hätte gerne die Bacon...
I'm going to be completely honest. Hash browns sound honestly amazing right now. This is why I should eat breakfast before streaming. There's always that mention of food that gets me. I am going to get absolutely destroyed in the subathon, aren't I? Oh yeah, that's going to be a problem. And Zero, you mentioned you're treated as a janitor? Ugh, sorry about that one, man. Worked in plenty of jobs where that was the case. I do not miss it.
Sandwich, Wombo Combo und meine Jungs hier nehmen 6 Röstis, 3 für jeden.
There are also references to local food in the Ukrainian and Polish dubs, as well as in other versions. Later, in the Hindi version, there's a reference to their local dish,
India?
paratha.
Paratha and
By the
radish?
way,
I don't even know what that is.
Orbsman? In most dubs, he speaks in a way that's impossible to understand, but in the Japanese version, his words are hearable. Check it out.
Oh. I'm Orbsman. I have classic combo number 57, please.
Now, back to
I didn't even realize it's supposed to be words. Do they actually have a script for that? You just made it unreadable? And Hobbit, you son of... About to make eggs and bake. Oh, God. I actually could feel my stomach. And Luna, you mentioned you're also a waiter, but you have to take care of the toilets. I'd say that's a shitty situation, but that's a bit too on the plunger. I'm so sorry for that joke. But yeah, I know that... Oh, God. This is a very weird episode where it's about food. People are talking about food, but also toilets at the same time. It's like, mixed signals, man.
Agatha. There's a scene where she plays around with words.
Such a grouch. Why are you always being a grunch?
But in the French version,
I'm actually surprised they haven't brought back the stupid juice. That's something they just want to keep on hand.
She jokes around with 2 different words. They can be translated as grumble and fart.
What?
These words sound pretty similar in French.
All you do is complain. Why do you spend all the time complaining? Fight.
Recently, there was a significant flood in Europe, including Poland. And it seems like the Polish dub made reference to that. Check it out.
You're just giving away parts now?
What are you doing? Flood victim?
In the middle of the episode, there's a scene where Gengel says something about 3 seasons. I wonder if this is a hint that they're planning 3 seasons of the Digital Circus. Either way, other dubs changed.
That seems like a bit of a stretch. If that was in the initial one, it may be a joke about it, but I would not expect that for later than that.
This part. For example, in the Polish version, there's a reference to the Polish film Day of the Wacko.
Why
would you do this?
It's called a manic episode, and you're getting 3 more seasons.
Oh, that wasn't the English dub. I almost wonder if that's the reference to The Office, but that was way more than 3 seasons. I'm about to spin you a sequel.
As you see, this video had a lot of interesting things. My favorite dubs of episode 4 are probably the German, Polish, and maybe Dutch versions. By the way, if you...
That's the Dutch flag? I'll be honest, I would have sworn that was French. Okay.
If you haven't seen my video about episode 3, I highly recommend checking it out.
Oh, dude. Okay. Yeah, this is just a complete and utter pile of me bait right now. Because I love just seeing the differences here. And some of them are like, oh, they just adjust forward. Other times it's like, oh, no, they had a lot more leeway. And then you get to the German version and the Polish versions. And, it seems like, they knew their audience well enough that they could do a lot more than the initial American version could. Oh my God. That's why I'm looking forward to check out the next few as well, because there's a lot more that happen in the next few episodes, and there's probably going to be some interesting changes. Or really disturbing changes. It can go either way, actually. And I'm being told the Dutch flag is the French flag sideways. Oh! I never actually pay attention to that. Neat. Either way, you guys know the deal. Links below video. Hit it up. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.